Justin Trudeau has decided to lead the federal Liberals on a grand crusade against their greatest enemy. No, not the Conservatives or Donald Trump or capitalists or anything like that. It's the fundamental tenets of reality itself. This time they've decided to declare war on the second law of thermodynamics, stating that energy cannot be transferred from one state to another without some loss in the energy. They want to create green energy, net zero, perpetual motion by now 2035. It used to be 2040, but we've moved it up 5 years because we think we're going to break the laws of thermodynamics even sooner than that. Are we in any position to do it now? No. Have we made any progress towards these insane targets? No. Might as well move up the targets then. Okay. This started because Justin Trudeau's lead environmental lunatic that was made a minister, Stephanie Jabibliot, he's on a crusade to get rid of all gas-powered cars, right? Everything must be green. What is green? Things that make me feel good, right? So this is why you can mine as much lithium as you want for an electric car battery. There are no environmental regulations. All the land is destroyed. None of it is regulated. But then non-green things like oil and gas in Canada, because they're bad, they have regulations, which means after an oil well is used up or whatever, the oil companies then bioremediate the area back to its original state. So that's why that's not green. And the toxic lithium mine in the DRC is green. So just so you know. Now, in true liberal fashion, because they truly believe in liberty, kidding, in 2035, you won't even be able to buy a gas car in Canada. You want to buy, a Subaru, what's it called, anything? Nope. A Honda Accord, haram. Toyota Camry, straight to jail. I'm not joking. You won't be able to buy these cars post-2035. So you'll see, yes, you'd see a massive purchasing of cars in 2034, and then people trying to keep these gas cars on the road longer, but they want to be phased out. So we can all get to electric cars, which we subsidize, except Tesla. We're not going to help out Tesla because people actually want to buy those cars. Those are the only electric cars actually selling. But F them, because Elon Musk bought Twitter and then won't turn it into commie propaganda. So screw the planet and the successful electric cars. Instead, we're going to prop up the electric cars of the major car conglomerates that don't really care about their electric cars, which are basically slapping something on. Now, this plan is moronic for thousands of reasons. There is no net zero. And the Thomas, there's no solutions, only compromises. You literally cannot get net zero. Nothing can be net zero. Nothing. Again, this is the party of science. Trust the science. I love science. Science, science, science. Trying to go to war with the second law of thermodynamics. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we're all being gaslit. So that's one thing. Okay, two. Just think of it. Okay. You can't have an electric car, my brother's family lives in the Northwest Territories. You can't have an electric car there. You just can't. There's just parts of Canada where you get far enough north, halfway through the southern provinces. Once you get above that, you just can't have an electric car in the winter. You just can't. So maybe more global warming. Maybe our plan is to expedite global warming so it's warm up in Nunavut. That way we can use electric cars to save the planet. So just literally, geographically, literally half of Canada, it's impossible to have an electric car. Okay, screw that. What, everyone needs to have a charging station in their home? What about people in apartments and condos? No. Well, we're gonna make it so that apartments and condos actually all have charging stations. But the reason you could charge your friggin' electric car or your Tesla in a charging station in a condo right now, because not everyone has electric cars. There's you go through these condos, there's 3 spots for charging. Okay, make it 10. Let's say 10. But the amount of cars in that garage are hundreds, right? When everyone has an electric car and everyone needs a charging station, you cannot have enough chargers in a condo complex, an apartment complex to get it done. And some don't even, we need to now retrofit every single condo and apartment building to have electrical chargers? Even the ones in lower income areas? And then, the gentrification. These are the same people that think gentrification is the most evil thing on the planet. What happens when you go into Jane and Finch and you start installing these things into an apartment complex that a couple Somali immigrant families live in, and their rent goes up? Oh, you gentrified. This is your thing, not my thing. Again, think. Gibiblio. Think your thoughts. So we have that. It's impractical. You can't get that, like, street chargers for electric vehicles. Like, what are we talking about? And then what happens, like, when everyone has an electric vehicle and it's all plugged into the grids and, like, you don't think it's going to create surging? Also, where do you think electricity comes from? The electricity fairy? Hello? You burn coal or natural gas or oil to get electricity in the first place. You friggin' ding-dongs. I hate this. This is peak green stupidity. It's like, oh, the electric, there's no gas, there's no emissions coming out of it right there. So it must be, like, yeah, but where did the friggin' electricity get made? You ding-dongs, right? You see it in a combustion engine because you're making the reaction right there on the spot. So it's like close. Coming back to this. The authoritarianism. You're just going to ban the sale of cars in 2035? We can't buy a car in America and bring it in? Like, the level of green authoritarianism here is off the friggin' hook. And my final thing on this is, I know that Justin Trudeau and Stephanie Gabiblio are atheists. They're not believing people. Neither am I, okay? So this is not a... But they're literal pagans, okay? The whole concept between the green energy thing is literally a pagan ritual, right? Because they're the party of science and reason, unlike you. And their plan is to make the world green. And in order to do that, it must be net zero. But again, you have this pesky laws of thermodynamics, the laws of physics, the laws of the universe. But we need to break them. So the general thought is, if we all, pay enough taxes, right? This is our sacrifice, right? If we all make the sacrifice of taxes and give something up, then give it to the priests, Gabiblio, Melanie Joly, Justin Trudeau, all of this. And we essentially do these rituals, right? We give into the idea. We're all true believers. We give in to the ritual. We all believe in what we are doing. And then we complete some sort of, right, if you see the green stuff, it's all, right, environmental racism, environmental justice, black people more, right? So if we can just get society where, okay, if there's, 2% Jews, then 2% Jews in the government, and if there's 17% blacks, and 17% of them will be black, and then 13% will be Hispanic, and then this percent will be this. So if we can just match, the racial and gender and all whatever components, and then provide a sacrifice of all our tax dollars to the high priest of climate change, which is Trudeau or the Liberals. Thus, the great Gaia will interfere in our world and change the very fundamental laws of nature, which inhibit our utopia. It's a literal pagan ritual. So my final point when I see the green stuff is like, if you're going to be an atheist in this modern day and age, you have to be an atheist, okay? That's my new rule for atheism. If you're an atheist, you have to actually not believe in stupid magical bullshit, okay? You actually have to go all the way. So if you're going to be a pagan, if you're going to pick a religion, then just admit it, right? I'd rather the healthier thing than all this green energy. It's just like literally convert to Islam, okay? It will be better for your mental health. Just admit that you want to do a religion. You need pagan sacrifices. You go become a Viking, become a pagan. Like literally, but admit what you're doing, because this is driving everyone insane. We cannot get to net zero. This is highly authoritarianism, and it's so fundamentally impractical and not even good for the environment. If we get into like how does green energy just keep the coal industry alive, but this works on zero metrics, and everyone knows it shouldn't work, and we understand inherently why it shouldn't work if we took high school biology. Or science, or anything. And yet, it's allowed to be the mainstream narrative. And if you people share this video, you'll be accused of climate change denial. You're going to deny the science for standing up for the laws of thermodynamics. This is the world we live in. It's driving me insane. And the fact that Stephanie Gabiblio is even in government is a travesty, and that's why I will never say his name right, because he doesn't deserve the fundamental respect of ever being acknowledged as a serious person. And why is this man in our cabinet? Anyway, I'd say you should not vote against Trudeau in 2025, but it'll probably be illegal to do that by that time. So anyway, enjoy Canada, and may the great sun goddess bless thee and ruin the laws of science so we can get to utopia. Amen.